Hi Gwen, thank you for choosing Google Writing, and this video is my evaluation on your writing practice. So first of all, let's take a look at the questions that you choose. Children are committing more crimes. Why it is happening and how should they be punished? So I'm here today to help you with correcting your mistakes, answer structure, idea suggestions, tips to improve, and band score estimation. And actually, we have sent you the corrected essay already. So I hope that you have analyzed it carefully, because here we will only focus on some serious mistakes. Okay. Now, this is your essay. With the introduction paragraph, we have improved. You need to change improve to improved for the passive voice, and use better instead of more well. The next sentence is good. However, the next one has a problem. We have one subject, the proportion of children, but two verbs, commit crimes and increase. However, only increase is the main verb to go with the proportion of children. So I add who here to change who committed crimes to a relative clause. Okay. With the second paragraph, I add that to clearly indicate two clauses. So I had the first important reason is that the first, and there are the second clause. And I use many because firms are plural nouns and count nouns. And it should be violent firms instead of violated. Okay, next, you can count up to 4 clauses in this sentence. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are so many things, and this will be very hard for the examiner to follow your idea. So my tip is to separate them into 2 sentences. And I highly recommend that you would write no more than 2 clauses in one sentence. So I put a full stop here and I replace with these movies have negative effects. Okay. The next mistake that I want to focus is not unusual, because we do not use double negative in academic English. Then I change by this into thirds to suggest a consequence. I don't write I mean because the question does not ask for my view. Okay. And I replace can with mind because I'm trying to talk about possibility. Things happen in the future, not ability. With the next paragraph, okay, I understand that you want to compare 2 things here. Spend time on working, not on looking after or caring, okay? So I change it into spend time on working rather than looking and caring, okay? They won't have the same structure. Actually, I don't use in addition here because you do not add any new idea, okay? You just simply explain the meaning, explain the things in the topic sentence, okay? So you should use in fact, okay, instead of in addition. And remember to not use but at the beginning of a sentence. You know, but is a conjunction to connect 2 clauses into one sentence. However, is the transitional expression to help you connect 2 sentences. Okay, so here we just have only one phrase, right? So you should use however instead of but. And I also want to introduce one more phrase here as a result to indicate a consequence, and you should use this phrase in this case to conclude your idea. With the next paragraph, well, it's wrong to say the growth of them. You should say children's growth or their growth. Okay? And with this sentence, you say if children are living. So this should be if they are living too. Right. Now, instead of using we should use a third person here. For example, I would like to use people, parents, governments, okay? And to be very careful with the verb tense. For example, punish. Keep in mind that you are not talking about the past because the situation still happens, right? Okay, and also with the sign here, because it stands after a modal verb can, so it should be an infinitive. So I should write can decide. With this one, we do not use that. We just need to use whether. It is enough, right? That doesn't make sense in this case. And also the verb in this case will need to be added with should. And then we have can decide whether the children should be punished. With the last part is a concluding paragraph. I have a compliment for you because you restate the topic correctly and you summarize the main ideas, right? However, just a tiny mistake that you do not use the if you don't want to aim at a certain group of people you know. Here it must be young criminals instead. Okay? Okay, we have finished with your mistakes and now let's see how you responded to the task. I want to repeat some key points to remember about this topic. The topic we have is young criminals and two questions to address: the reasons and the punishments for these criminals. So let me make a quick outline for you to picture our task clearly. You are advised to build a 4-paragraph essay with the introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and 1 concluding paragraph. Okay. Now, in the introduction, you need to introduce the topic by paraphrasing the idea and the questions. Okay, which means so simply means you rewrite the topic in a different way. And then you should let the examiner know what you're going to do with your essay by pointing out 2 things: the reasons and the punishments. Next, you write 2 body paragraphs, 1 for the reasons and 1 for the punishments. In each paragraph, you could use only up to 2 or 3 supporting points as you want. But remember to write a similar amount of words for each paragraph. So this body should be approximately 100 words, and then this one should also be 100 words. Okay, and finally, you restate the topic and summarize the main ideas in the concluding paragraph. Okay, and here is your work. In the intro graph, you spend a lot of time and effort writing long building sentences to introduce the topic, when actually you need to approach it more directly. So my recommendation is for you to use this sentence only. The proportion of children who commit crimes has increased in some countries in the world, because it contains everything we need for the topic already. And then you need to add one more sentence to clarify the task. And here you could take advantage of my sample as I write in this part already. I say there are several causes of this alarming trend to introduce the causes. But governments could consider some punishments in order to solve the problem. So it should be the punishment. Okay. Right. So remember to make the intro quick, direct, and effective next time. Okay. And then you have one paragraph explaining the first reason. Violent films. You did a great job by writing a topic sentence at the beginning of the paragraph, and then you add more details to explain the influence of violent movies. Very good structure. And similarly, you have a good structure with the second paragraph, the second reasons about parents' responsibilities. This is your topic sentence. Okay. Followed by some supporting sentences. I really love that. Okay. It doesn't matter you combine two reasons into one paragraph. You combine two reasons into one paragraph, or you want to split them this way. But you can recognize that the total words for these two paragraphs are more than the next one. So this is the reasons, right? This. But this is the punishment. Okay, you got that right? Actually, you should be careful to balance the length because the punishment should be as important as the reasons. Now the biggest problem you had is the idea in the punishment paragraph. The questions ask you about punishments, but you mistake with suggestions. Therefore, you write many advices here. And I'm sorry to let you know that you will lose marks for not understanding the question. Okay, so you must be very careful. Understand the task clearly, what you should write, and then you go for it. Okay, this is off topic. However, the concluding paragraph you did rather well by repeating the reasons. And here you should repeat the punishment instead of need to think carefully. Okay, it should be punishment. Right. So what ideas should you use and how to improve your vocabulary to earn a higher score? I'm giving you some suggestions about building more persuasive ideas, but remember that you do not need to use all of these suggestions, and you are advised to add more as you like. Okay. Here I give you two reasons, just some suggestions. I have two reasons. Young children might face stress in life, and they are exposed to violent culture. You can use both reasons or just one and explain it in detail within about 100 words for both, or maybe for only one, right? So for example, if I choose facing stress as a reason, I can say that children now like contact with their parents, for they have limited time to share and to talk, and as a result, the family ties become weaker, and in many families, parents get divorced, which definitely impacts badly on children's emotions, right? And also at school, kids are under academic pressure because they have to compete with their peers for scores and other activities. And many of them will feel depressed and they decide to join gangs and they commit crimes, okay? So the second reason would be exposed to violent culture or messages. Actually, this reason is exactly what you wrote in your essay, right? So you talk about watch movies on TV or play video violent games, okay? And they are familiar with those actions. They think that it is normal or it is usual, right? However, it would have negative impact on the perception and actions. And finally, the children would act like the characters in the movies or in the games. And similarly, I have some suggestion for the punishments. Okay, so here I could say that we should punish the children as adult criminals. Okay, and I add some detail to explain for this. You should read it and understand it clearly so that you can take advantage of it in your essay. Or some others will say about rehabilitation. Or community service orders. It's like order or ask the children to do community service. For example, cleaning streets or talking to school groups. Okay, and it will make them feel useful in the community. You use these kind of supporting points and details in order to explain the things here. Okay, so you should say that you have maybe 2 punishment or 3 punishments, and you're trying to explain the influence and why you choose it. Okay, and why the government should take advantage or should consider your punishments in order to deal with these kind of criminals. And crime is a very difficult topic to write because you must have a strong background or strong lexical resources in order to write it, and do not repeat it so many times in your essay. So here I give you some vocabulary which you will not use in this essay only, but you just need to study this and you can use it for any kind of questions related to crime topic. Okay, so we'll say crime or offense. Commit crimes, commit offense, offend or re-offend. Criminals, offenders. We say minor, first time, adult or career criminals. That means some people, right? They commit crimes during their life. Okay, it's a punishment, sentence, or sanction. Okay, we have other things here. Crime rates or diesel crimes. They are very good collocations to use. Or juvenile delinquency, pose a threat. They should use this to talk about the children drop out of school. Okay, and create a violent culture. Right. So it will be very difficult for you if you try to buy many vocabulary books and you try to study in those books. However, you won't have so many exchange words and you don't know how to use it. So my tip is not to study too much from those books, but use this vocabulary that I gave you. Study it, learn it from the dictionary. You look up the words in the dictionary and you try to repeat using the verbs and the words, the phrases, the collocations in the next essay. Well, so this is the end of the vocabulary and idea suggestion part, and we've moved to the tips to improve. Okay, so what I want to suggest you is some advice for you to follow on your test day. Okay, so in a test date you will be given 40 minutes to do the writing task 2. So it would be writing an essay within 40 minutes. So it would be really necessary for you to understand what you should do in order to not stay out of the topics and do not write effectively. So here I have some recommendations for you. You should use 10 minutes to make an outline, a very clear outline. And of course, in this outline, or in this plan, you would only write the idea for the 2 body paragraphs. Okay, this is called an outline. You would write as many words and you choose the supporting points for the 2 body paragraphs here. Make clear that you understand what the task asks you to do. Okay, because as you know, you have made a mistake, very big mistake with the task response, because you understand you mistake the punishment with the suggestions, and then you will lose mark for the task response criteria. Okay, so you use 10 minutes to write a plan what you should do with the 2 body paragraph. Okay, after 10 minutes, you would use the next 5 minutes to write the introduction. And as I said before, you should write only one sentence to introduce the topic by paraphrasing the idea. Okay, and after that, one more sentence to answer answer the questions, to let the examiner know what you would do with your essay. Okay, after these 10 minutes, you would use 20 minutes to write the body. Okay, you will have 2 body paragraphs, and you should write 10 minutes for each body paragraph here. And remember to start the paragraph with the topic sentence right at the beginning. Okay, and then you add supporting points. Maybe it should be 2 or 3 according to you, your choice. And you have for one supporting point, and you should add some details to explain it. Okay, sometimes you can add some examples too. It will be very good to clear out what you want to say in your writing. And similarly with the second paragraph, you spend 10 minutes. You write the topic sentence first, and you add with more details. Okay. After these, after all the things, you would have only, I think, 5 minutes left, and then you use 2 minutes to write the concluding paragraph. You one more time restate the topic sentence and summarize the main ideas, which mean, for example, the reasons and the punishments. Okay, make it quick and short. And then we spend 2 or 3 minutes to checking all the mistake in your writing. So the first thing for you to check is to read it one time, and you see if the ideas are relevant and connected to each other or not. After that, you would check if you have some mistakes, like I would say verb tenses, plural nouns, okay, subject verb agreement, things like that. So these are the advices for the test day, the test date, okay, when you are in the room and you just have only 40 minutes. However, at home, you should have another strategies. Here, I would say that at home, if you are given a questions like this, or you choose a question to practice writing, you should read the questions, understand the task that it asks you to do, okay? Don't mistake it. Read it carefully and underline the keywords and understand what does it ask you. After that, you can search on the internet. You could Google search, and you write the topic, young criminals, for example. You read some news related to the topic. Okay, why I said news? Because when you search for news on the internet, it would be written and edited by professional writers, and then it will be very good for you to learn about the vocabulary and things like that. Okay, so you check on the internet, and you read the news related to the topic. You underline the keywords, the vocabulary, okay, and you note down the new words, new phrases, and collocation you have learned into a paper, right? After that, you would practice writing and try to use the phrases that you have learned. It will be a very good way for you to learn them, because you will only learn things by practicing, okay? Right. So you practice writing using the vocabulary that you have learned. Don't forget to make an outline, and then add details for your outline. and follow the timing that I said to you before. Okay, it would be very good for you to have the best preparation and practice for the real test. Okay, and finally we go back to your writing to see what kind of score would I give you. Actually, as you can see that with the grammar, you have so many mistakes on grammar, right? Okay, and you should be careful next time, especially using the transitional words, expressions, or the conjunction carefully and effectively. I really like the way you structure your essay. Okay, you put it in 3 paragraphs and you do it very well. However, it will be a little bit sad because you have mistaken the task, the questions. So you write about another things. There's the subjections. Why the task asks you to write about the punishment. Okay. You have a good introduction. However, it lacks the main content here, and you have a good conclusion. Okay. So you lose marks with a task response. You still make some mistake, a lot of mistake with your grammar. About cohesion and coherence, that means the way you use the linking verbs, sorry, to link ideas together, and then it's not really effective. So you also lose mark for the cohesion and coherence. And the next thing, vocabulary. You have some good words here, like you say proportion, okay, commit crime, good, okay, or you say negative effects, right? Let's say copy the action. Let's say find, okay. You have some good vocabulary, however, it is still limited, okay. And I think that I believe that it deserves a 5 for overall, okay. So you get 5. And today I have pointed out all the mistakes and the things you need to improve, and a lot of suggestions for you. So I hope that you can take advantage of these things and you rewrite the these questions, the topic, and take advantage of what I say to you, and you have a better essays next time. Okay, thank you so much for choosing Google Writing, and hope for your next writing with us. Goodbye, Gwen.